as a tenant in a home that is currently for my rights with regard to allowing entrance for showings to potential buyers?
So right now, that's also a little bit of a tricky situation because unless it's an emergency, there are provisions under the Residential Tenancies Act that a landlord can go in without notice for emergency purposes. And then there's a section of the act that deals with a landlord's rights to enter a unit upon giving 24-hour notice, a minimum 24-hour notice if it falls under one of the categories. One of them is, a licensed broker or real estate agent showing a home that's for sale. The concern going forward, and one of the things I think might be an issue, is that even if a landlord gives proper notice to a tenant to do that, saying, yes, we're showing this home, there have been a lot of tenants that not only in this situation, but just sort of maintenance issues that are saying, we don't want anybody to come in because of the virus, right? And so even though the legislation says that you can't refuse entry by a landlord if they've given proper notice, again, how this is all going to play out, and I think certain considerations are going to be given if someone is saying, I don't want someone coming into my home because my family's isolated or I'm concerned about exposure. I think it's going to be assessed on a case-by-case basis. I think this may be, again, I'm speculating, but this may be, especially if it's an emergency situation, and the landlord provides a notice to the tenant because they're prohibiting them from going in because of the virus, and it's an emergency and it has to be dealt with. This may be something that the board looks at to do a telephone hearing for, but I don't know what that looks like. And again, even if the tenant is not letting them in, even after you've given proper notice, certainly you can serve them with the appropriate notice for interference with the landlord's lawful right and privilege, which would be an N5 for basically not allowing the real estate agents to come in to attempt to sell the house. But in light of the circumstances going on, will the board find the tenant's actions unreasonable? And as of right now, we don't know what that's going to look like.